peace reign. On the news this afternoon, APC governorship candidate Tony Cole insists there's no division in Rivers APC. Heavy security in Abia State as tribunal delivers judgment on governorship election disputes. Former NBA president joins Edo governorship race. Senate summons IGP, FCT minister, others over one chance victim's death. Civilian JTF national coordinator says alleged security personnel involvement in illegal oil refining posing control challenge. On the foreign scene, dozens killed in Syria army ceremony drone strike. I am Constance Mega. The APC governorship candidate in Rivers State, Tony Cole, says the withdrawal of the party's counsel at the governorship election petition tribunal in Abuja was not as a result of division in the state chapter of the party. Recall that with the withdrawal, Mr. Tony Cole remained the only petitioner against the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the PDP, and its candidate, Sinale Fubara. When Mr. Tony Cole, while speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Hard Facts program yesterday, said he will continue with the case. And he said he is working within the provisions of the law that makes it possible for both the party and the candidate to appeal the case as different entities.
At no point have we ever sat down to discuss withdrawing or continuing this case. Not the president, not the chairman of my party at the national level, not the chairman of my party at the state level. I have essentially carried this case and the course of this case on my own. So it's never been up there. There's been absolutely no discussion, no agreement. As far as I am concerned with me or the party in any way regarding this case.
Well, Mr. Cole also claimed that former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike struck a deal with President Bola Tinubu, particularly in relation to his appointment as the FCT minister, and this had implications for the state's leadership. He has also accused the national body of the APC of neglecting the state chapter, despite Rivers APC's strong support for the current administration during the campaigns.
The president, in wanting to make sure that he won Rivers State, went into an arrangement with Nyesom Wike. It worked for Rivers State as PDP did, and so they're more balanced. But more importantly is that all the appointments that have come from the PDP have taken something that we have always fought against in Rivers State. When you look at all the appointments that have come, 5 of them, 4 of those appointments are from one local government. One is from Okokolo. Now that is not fair in any way.
Well, an earlier statement by the State Publicity Secretary of the APC, Darlington Wuju, said the party considers the reason for the dismissal of the petition of the party's governorship candidate as hypothetical and inconsistent with the position of the Supreme Court. Well, Mr. Wuju said the Supreme Court held on 14th November 2003 in the case of Buhari and 2 others versus Obasanjo and 2 others that a candidate in an election cannot be one and the same person with the political party that sponsored him, and that the law gives them independent and distinct personalities and rights. In another development, the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Umuahia has struck out 2 of the motions by the petitioner Oke Ahiwe of the PDP against Governor Alex Oti of the Labour Party. The dismissed motions were said to be incompetent, while some of the issues struck out were attempts by the petitioners to introduce new issues and attempts to repeat themselves. But the panel is still reading its judgment for the determination of the entire petition, including the petition by Ikechi Emenike of the APC. Moving on, a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olumide Akpata, has declared his intention in the Edo State governorship election coming up next year. Mr. Akpata, who not long ago joined the Labour Party, said he joined the race in the interest of the people. Well, he described the Labour Party as the only people-oriented political party, and he said if given the opportunity, he will change the narrative and ensure that the people enjoy the benefits of democracy. The APC has asked the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to accept his loss in the 2023 presidential election. The spokesman of the APC, Felix Morka, said this while faulting the former vice president's World Press Conference held yesterday over President Bola Tinubu's certificate.
I couldn't put my finger on why he actually called a so-called World Press Conference. Now, the only thing I can say was that it was simply another occasion by Atiku Abubakar to beat he started an empty drum of lies, of distortions, of untruths, of sheer falsehood. When you lose an election, especially for a man who has serially lost presidential election, I can understand that, he is affected by his serial loss. That's an emotional issue for him, and I sympathize with him.
Well, President Tinubu's lawyer, Oluwole Afolabi, also spoke on the certificate controversy.
The claim was that President Bola Tinubu did not attend Chicago State University. When they were met on this, they now went to the certificate that he presented to INEC was forged. And then again, the school simply stated in the deposition that we don't have a copy of the certificate that was presented to INEC. Reason being that the practice of the school is such that diplomas are considered merely ceremonial. The reason why they don't have a copy of it is that once they order for a certificate, a diploma, and you pick it up as a ceremonial document, that's it.
Well, some residents of Port Harcourt have also shared their thoughts on the certificate saga.
It's no longer a national problem, it's now an international issue. We call on the presidency to come out and refute this or accept it. And if there's an atom of truth, I think the president should boldly resign.
Why can't we uphold the tenet of truth in this country? This particular one now, just to open our eyes and see who is ruling us, because the judiciary will not do the needful. I'm not taking anything from them. This country is in quagmire. So I must commend the braveness of Atiku Abubakar for this particular issue.
So much deceit is coming from the head. The legislative arm is not saying anything concrete about it because they feel they have that serious national issues to attend to. They need to also do something about it to prevent reoccurrence.
This is not the first time a public office holder is having issues with identity. Others resigned.
Well, yesterday, the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar called on his Labour Party counterpart, Peter Obi, and that of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, to back his legal case against President Bola Tinubu and his certificate. But Mr. Obi has replied, saying he is focused on reclaiming his mandates at the Supreme Court. The Senate has summoned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoku, and the Ministers of Health and FCT, Alipate and Nyesom Wike, over the death of Greatness Olorunfemi at the Maitama General Hospital last Tuesday. Recall that Miss Olorunfemi was a victim of one-chance criminals. They stabbed and threw her out of the vehicle she boarded along the Maitama-Kubwa Highway, but she was immediately rushed to Maitama General Hospital by Good Samaritans, but the facility did not attend to her for not providing a police report. We're disturbed by the sad developments. The Senate, through a motion sponsored by Senator Asukwo Ekpenyong, is instructing its committees on health and police to carry out a thorough investigation on her death and report back in 2 weeks. Still to come, civilian JTF National Coordinator says alleged security personnel involvement in illegal oil refining is posing control challenge. Stay tuned. And South Commandant, civilian JTF, watch the alleged involvement of Dominical in the implementation of laws to penalize oil refining industries will help these illegal activities. But Mr. Ada also urged to join hands with the present administration in the fight against illegal oil refining in the country.
all we can do is to join hands together and see how we get a better Nigeria that we are planning. If we get our major resources from oil production, that means we all as youth that want the future for this country must join hands together to see how possible we can process the pipeline.
Some natives of Bile in Degema local government area of Rivers State are concerned that the water level in the community is getting higher than expected. One of them, Timothy Akudambe, tells correspondent Suibi Oruwari that if the situation is not urgently checked, the flood might destroy the livelihoods of the people.
On the water level as it comes into the community at this period of time. As at today, the water that came into the community was about 20 inches high, which is about 0.8 meters from the ground level. And the water that came into this is not going to be compared to the level of water we are expecting in subsequent days ahead. Therefore, a request is made for a support or help that we can get to curb this menace.
Well, as you may know, Degema local government area is among the 19 local government areas that may be affected by flooding this year. The Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, Rivers State Branch, has commended the State Police Command for paying attention to the medical conditions of Rivers people. The NMA chairman in the state, Ebby Robinson, made this known at the free medical care of the Rivers State Police Command's Zero Crime Initiative.
The background information is that the police is advocating for a crime-free society. Then for us in the health profession, we are advocating for health for all in Rivers State. So we are putting these two together to make a crime-free society that is healthy for all. Our advice is let everybody be crime-free, and those that need medical attention, please do seek medical attention. Presently, surgery is going on. We've done a lot of angiographies, lumpectomies, appendectomies, other disease conditions, non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes are also being treated.
Well, some beneficiaries of the free medical outreach spoke to correspondent Suibi Oruwari.
The Nigerian Medical Association is collaborating.
The right only me for them. I carry go show me what is happening in my life. I tell them, God bless them.
Because of my daughter, she has a bone issue. I heard about different kind of surgeries. So I thought there would be something like bone surgery, but eventually they said there's no bone surgery. It says the antibiotics to take care of it. I appreciate
because it's not easy seeing something like this. I say a big thank you to them because it's not easy for somebody to organize this and they call people to come and they benefit.
Free eyeglass. I went to see the doctor for this surgery. I really love it and I want it to continue.
Thank God for participating in this program. I pray as I'm going in, I pray for some of them to go in and come out successfully.
Petroleum product dealers say depots are deserted due to lack of products caused by foreign exchange rate volatility. Well, this is as the landing cost of petrol increased to 720 naira per litre from the 651 naira per litre it was in August. Well, the national president of the Natural Oil and Gas Suppliers Association of Nigeria, NOGASA, Benneth Korie, said this during their National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. Well, he said filling stations are shutting down daily as it is becoming increasingly tough to run the business. NOGASA said this could lead to widespread fuel scarcity in coming months. And in business, the federal government says it targets to reduce poverty rate to 0.6% and unemployment to 6.3% by 2030 and 2050 agenda. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, said this at a news briefing for the 29th Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja. He said the plan will be implemented by successive governments through the 5-year medium-term national development plans and annual budgets. In entertainment, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the groundbreaking of the proposed $100 million African Film City project in Ekpe will be done before the end of October. Governor Sanwo-Olu said this during a news conference on the forthcoming 12th African International Film Festival at the Government House, Marina. In sports, West Ham continued their successful start to life in the Europa League with a record-breaking victory at Freiburg. The London club clinched an impressive record by becoming the first English side to go 17 consecutive games in European competition without defeat. Syria's health ministry says a drone attack on a Syrian military academy in the western city of Homs has killed at least 89 people. The explosive-laden drones targeted a graduation ceremony attended by cadets' families, and women and children were among the dead. A UK-based monitoring group said 116 people had been killed, but the Syrian army blamed the attack on terrorist groups backed by known international forces. There was no immediate claim from the rebels and jihadists battling the government in the country's civil war. Well, that's the news this afternoon, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. APC governorship candidate Tony Cole has insisted that there is no division in the Rivers APC. The Abia State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has dismissed 4 motions by the PDP. A former NBA president, Olumide Akpata, has joined the Edo State governorship race. And the Senate has summoned the IGP, the FCT minister, and others over the death of a one-chance victim. And the national coordinator of the civilian JTF says the alleged involvement of security personnel in illegal oil refining is posing control challenges. On the foreign scene, Syria's health ministry says a drone attack on a Syrian military academy in the western city of Homs has killed at least 89 people. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I'm Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good afternoon.